Question: what are the main religious practices in Hinduism? A. Main religious practices in Hinduism include puja, worship, meditation, yoga, and pilgrimage to sacred sites. Question: can you explain the significance of Hindu temples in India? A. Hindu temples are sacred places where devotees gather to worship deities, perform rituals, and seek spiritual guidance. They serve as centers of religious and cultural activities. Question: what are some famous Hindu pilgrimage sites in India? A. Some famous Hindu pilgrimage sites in India include Varanasi, Rishikesh, Haridwar, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Ayodhya, Mathura, and Amarnath. Question: how is meditation practiced in Hinduism? A. Meditation in Hinduism is practiced through various techniques such as mindfulness, chanting mantras, focusing on deities, or observing the breath. It aims to achieve spiritual growth and inner peace. Question: could you tell me about the concept of karma and its significance in Hinduism? A. Karma is the law of cause and effect in Hinduism, where one's actions have consequences in this life or the next. It emphasizes moral responsibility and the idea that one's deeds determine their future. Question: what role do festivals play in Hindu religious life? A. Festivals hold significant importance in Hindu religious life as they commemorate mythological events, honor deities, and foster community cohesion. Examples include Diwali, Holi, Navratri, and Janmashtami. Question: how do different sects and schools of Hinduism differ in their religious practices? A. Different sects and schools of Hinduism may emphasize different deities, scriptures, rituals, and philosophical interpretations, leading to diverse religious practices and traditions. Question: what is the significance of the Ganges River in Hinduism? A. The Ganges River is considered sacred in Hinduism and is believed to cleanse sins, bestow blessings, and facilitate spiritual liberation. It is a focal point for rituals, ceremonies, and pilgrimage. Question: can you explain the concept of dharma in Hinduism? A. Dharma refers to the moral duty, righteousness, and cosmic order in Hinduism. It encompasses one's responsibilities in society, ethical conduct, and adherence to one's caste duties. Question: how do Hindu mystics and ascetics contribute to the religious landscape of India? A. Hindu mystics and ascetics, known as sadhus and sages, lead lives of renunciation and spiritual pursuit. They inspire devotion, provide guidance, and serve as guardians of ancient traditions. Question: what are some unique features of Hindu temple architecture? A. Hindu temple architecture often features intricate carvings, elaborate entrances, gopurams, inner sanctums, garbhagriha, and symbolic representations of deities and cosmic principles. Question: how do Hindu rituals vary across different regions of India? A. Hindu rituals may vary across regions due to cultural influences, local traditions, and historical factors. However, they generally adhere to core religious principles and texts. Question: what are the major deities worshipped in Hinduism, and what are their attributes? A. Major deities in Hinduism include Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, Shiva, the destroyer, Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, Saraswati, goddess of knowledge, and Durga, goddess of power. Question: how do Hindu beliefs influence everyday life in India? A. Hindu beliefs influence various aspects of everyday life in India, including social customs, family relationships, dietary practices, and festivities. Question: can you describe the significance of pilgrimage in Hinduism? A. Pilgrimage is considered a sacred journey undertaken to seek spiritual purification, blessings, and enlightenment. It allows devotees to connect with their faith and deepen their devotion. Question: what are some notable ashrams in India and what activities do they offer? A. Some notable ashrams in India include the Ramakrishna Mission, Parmarth Niketan, and Art of Living Ashram. They offer spiritual teachings, meditation retreats, yoga classes, and humanitarian initiatives. Question: how do Hindu scriptures shape religious beliefs and practices? A. Hindu scriptures such as the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Puranas provide foundational teachings, philosophical insights, and ethical guidelines that influence religious beliefs and practices. Question: what are some common rituals performed during Hindu weddings and other life ceremonies? A. Common rituals during Hindu weddings include the exchange of vows, saptapdi, circling the sacred fire, Agni Parikrama, and applying sindoor, vermilion, to the bride's hairline. Other life ceremonies include birth rituals, puberty rites, and funeral rites. Question: could you explain the concept of moksha and its significance in Hinduism? A. Moksha refers to liberation from the cycle of birth and death, samsara, and the attainment of spiritual liberation. It is the ultimate goal of human life in Hinduism, achieved through self-realization and union with the divine. Question: how do Hinduism and other religions coexist in India? A. India is known for its religious diversity and pluralism, where Hinduism coexists with Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Despite occasional tensions, there is a long history of mutual influence, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence among different religious communities. Question: what role do astrology and auspicious timings, muhurt, play in Hindu religious practices? A. Astrology and auspicious timings play a significant role in Hindu religious practices, influencing decisions related to weddings, ceremonies, and important life events. They are believed to ensure favorable outcomes and divine blessings. Question: how do Hindu festivals reflect the cultural diversity of India? A. Hindu festivals reflect the cultural diversity of India by showcasing regional customs, traditions, cuisines, and artistic expressions. They bring people together across caste, creed, and linguistic differences, fostering unity in diversity. Question: can you describe the symbolism behind Hindu deities and their attributes? A. Hindu deities are often depicted with symbolic attributes representing their divine powers, qualities, and cosmic functions. For example, Vishnu holds a conch shell, shankha, and a discus, chakra, symbolizing preservation and protection. Question: what are the main principles of yoga, and how are they practiced in Hinduism? A. Yoga encompasses physical postures, asanas, breathing techniques, pranayam, and meditation practices aimed at achieving spiritual union and self-realization. It is an integral part of Hinduism, promoting physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. Question: how do Hindu rituals for honoring ancestors, Shraddha, contribute to family traditions? A. Hindu rituals for honoring ancestors, such as the Shraddha ceremony, strengthen family bonds, honor departed souls, and ensure their spiritual well-being in the afterlife. They are performed with reverence and devotion, preserving ancestral traditions across generations. Question: what are the key teachings of Advaita Vedanta, and how do they influence Hindu philosophy? A. Advaita Vedanta, founded by Adi Shankaracharya, teaches the non-dualistic nature of reality, asserting that the individual soul, Atman, is identical to the ultimate reality, Brahman. It emphasizes self-realization and the illusion of separateness. Question: how do Hinduism and environmental conservation intersect? A. Hinduism emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life forms and the sanctity of nature. Concepts such as ahimsa, non-violence, and dharma, duty, advocate for responsible stewardship of the environment and sustainable living practices. Question: what are some rituals associated with the worship of specific Hindu deities? A. Rituals associated with the worship of specific Hindu deities vary but may include offerings of flowers, incense, and food, recitation of prayers and mantras, and performing aarti, light offering, ceremonies. Question: could you explain the significance of holy cities like Varanasi in Hinduism? A. Holy cities like Varanasi are believed to possess spiritual power and offer opportunities for devotees to attain moksha, liberation. They are centers of pilgrimage, where rituals such as bathing in the Ganges and performing funeral rites are considered auspicious. Question: how do Hindu scriptures depict the concept of creation? A. Hindu scriptures present various cosmological myths and allegories depicting the process of creation, involving deities such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The universe is cyclically created, sustained, and dissolved in a cosmic dance. Question: what is the significance of sacred symbols like the Om symbol in Hinduism? A. Sacred symbols like the Om symbol represent cosmic principles and divine energies in Hinduism. Om is considered the primordial sound of creation and is chanted as a mantra during meditation and rituals. Question: can you describe the rituals associated with the celebration of Diwali? A. Diwali, the festival of lights, is celebrated with rituals such as lighting all lamps, diyas, decorating homes with rangoli, artistic patterns, offering prayers to Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, and exchanging sweets and gifts. Question: how do Hindu scriptures address the concept of ethics and morality? A. Hindu scriptures provide ethical guidelines and moral precepts known as dharma, emphasizing virtues such as truthfulness, compassion, righteousness, and non-violence. The concept of karma reinforces the importance of ethical conduct and accountability. Question: what is the significance of pilgrimage sites like Mount Kailash in Hinduism? A. Pilgrimage sites like Mount Kailash are revered as abodes of gods and goddesses, and their spiritual energy is believed to facilitate spiritual transformation and enlightenment. Pilgrims undertake arduous journeys to seek divine blessings and attain spiritual merit. Question: how do Hinduism and Indian classical arts intersect? A. Hinduism has deeply influenced Indian classical arts such as music, dance, drama, and sculpture, serving as a source of inspiration for themes, motifs, and narratives depicted in artistic expressions. Question: can you explain the symbolism behind the Hindu deity Ganesh? A. Ganesh, the elephant-headed deity, symbolize wisdom, intellect, and the removal of obstacles. He is worshipped at the beginning of rituals and endeavors to ensure success and auspiciousness. Question: how do Hindu rituals for the deceased, antiesti, reflect beliefs about the afterlife? A. Hindu rituals for the deceased, such as antiesti, funeral rites, are performed to ensure a peaceful transition of the soul to the afterlife and facilitate its journey towards reincarnation or liberation. Question: what role do sacred texts like the Bhagavad Gita play in Hindu spiritual practice? A. Sacred texts like the Bhagavad Gita provide philosophical insights, moral guidance, and spiritual teachings that inspire devotion, contemplation, and self-realization among practitioners of Hinduism. Question: how do Hinduism and Ayurveda intersect in promoting holistic well-being? A. Hinduism and Ayurveda share a holistic worldview that emphasizes the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of medicine, incorporates principles of yoga, meditation, and herbal remedies to promote physical health and spiritual harmony. Question: could you describe the concept of Maya in Hindu philosophy? A. Maya refers to the illusionary nature of the material world in Hindu philosophy. It is considered a veil that obscures the true nature of reality, leading individuals to perceive the world as separate from the divine. Question: what are some rituals associated with the worship of the goddess Durga during Navratri? A. Rituals associated with the worship of goddess Durga during Navratri include fasting, recitation of prayers and mantras, offering flowers and fruits, and performing dance and music in her honor. Question: how do Hindu beliefs influence architectural design, particularly in temple construction? A. Hindu beliefs influence architectural design by incorporating principles of sacred geometry, symbolism, and cosmology into temple construction. Temples are designed as embodiments of cosmic order, with intricate carvings and sculptures depicting divine narratives and deities. Question: can you explain the concept of seva, selfless service, in Hinduism? A. Seva, or selfless service, is a fundamental principle in Hinduism that emphasizes compassion, empathy, and altruism towards others. It is considered a path to spiritual growth and liberation by transcending the ego and serving the needs of the community. Question: how do Hinduism and the caste system intersect in Indian society? A. The caste system, rooted in Hindu social hierarchy, assigns individuals to specific social roles and occupational groups based on birth. While officially abolished, caste-based discrimination persists in various forms, affecting social and economic opportunities for marginalized groups. Question: what is the significance of the Mahabharata and Ramayana epics in Hindu culture? A. The Mahabharata and Ramayana epics are revered as sacred texts in Hindu culture, containing moral lessons, philosophical teachings, and divine narratives that inspire devotion, contemplation, and ethical conduct. Question: how do Hindu rituals for newborns, Namkaran, and other life stages mark significant milestones? A. Hindu rituals for newborns, such as Namkaran, naming ceremony, and other life stages such as puberty rites, upnayana, and marriage, vivaha, mark significant milestones in an individual's life journey and reinforce cultural and religious identity. Question: can you describe the significance of sacred rivers like the Yamuna and Saraswati in Hindu mythology? A. Sacred rivers like the Yamuna and Saraswati are revered in Hindu mythology as goddesses embodying purity, fertility, and divine blessings. They are worshipped during festivals and pilgrimage, and their waters are considered spiritually purifying. Question: how do Hinduism and vegetarianism intersect in dietary practices? A. Hinduism promotes vegetarianism as a means of ahimsa, non-violence, towards all living beings and as a way to maintain physical and spiritual purity. Many Hindus adhere to vegetarian diets out of reverence for life and adherence to religious principles. Question: what role do devotional practices like Bhakti Yoga play in Hindu spirituality? A. Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion and love for the divine, is a central practice in Hindu spirituality. Devotees express their love and devotion through prayers, hymns, chanting, and rituals aimed at cultivating a deep and personal relationship with the divine. Question: how do Hinduism and modernity intersect in contemporary India? A. Hinduism adapts to modernity by embracing technological advancements, social changes, and globalization while preserving traditional values and cultural heritage. This intersection manifests in various aspects of Indian society, including education, governance, and religious practices.